The orbital archive station XAL floated in silence above the blue-gray clouds of Vareth Prime, its surface a lattice of steel and memory. It wasn't a place for the curious. It was where curiosity came to die. Commander Erin Velis stood at the viewport, hands clasped behind her back, watching the planet's mist curl across the void. She wasn't here for the beauty of it. Somewhere inside the archive's labyrinth of data vaults lay a record that the Galactic Council had spent centuries trying to erase. Her escort, a frail Ketheri named Rallo, adjusted his translator coil nervously. "Commander, if anyone suspects what you're after, they'll revoke your access. The Codex ban." "I'm not breaking it," Erin interrupted, her tone calm but precise. "I'm studying pre-Orion linguistic convergence. Perfectly legal." Rallo's gills fluttered in disbelief. "You mean Terran remnants?" The word hung in the air like static. Even speaking it was dangerous. Erin turned to him. "When a civilization vanishes after rewriting the galaxy's laws of war, someone should at least ask why." They passed through the main atrium, a cathedral of glass, filled with whispering archivists and drones cataloging endless holograms. The station's AI, Archivist 13, pulsed in the center, its form a hovering crystal sphere woven with blue light. "Commander Velis?" it greeted, voice layered in multiple harmonics. "Access verified. Level 4 linguistic clearance confirmed. Please specify research node." "Pre-Orion code families," Erin replied. "Cross-reference with any linguistic roots tied to the Soul sector." The AI hesitated. Lights dimmed. "That request falls under restricted protocol. Are you authorized?" She showed her encrypted sigil. It shimmered in the air, a rare diplomatic key. "Authorized by the Council's own Directorate of Historical Oversight." The AI processed the symbol in silence. "Warning, penalties for Codex violations include termination of access and corporeal privileges." Rallo whispered. "That means execution, Commander." "Then I'll make it quick," Erin said, stepping forward as the floor split open, revealing a circular lift descending into the station's core. The deeper levels of XAL were cold and metallic, filled with rows of black monoliths, ancient storage cores older than most species in the Council. Here, even light felt cautious. Erin linked her datapad to the main console. Her pulse quickened as glyphs cascaded across the screen. Genesis, designation, Earth. She'd heard rumors. Fragments of data thought purged during the Galactic Purge centuries ago. Every historian who tried to study them had vanished or retired quietly. Rallo hovered near the door, wide-eyed. "Commander, if this is what I think it is, we're trespassing on a death sentence." "History doesn't kill people," Erin said. "Fear does." She activated the file. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the air rippled. The screen dissolved into fractal geometry, patterns that changed faster than comprehension. Her translator stuttered. The characters weren't language but structure, mathematical rhythm embedded in sound and light. The archivist's voice deepened, its usual calm gone. "Unauthorized input detected. Access anomaly. Commander Velis, what have you done?" Erin's datapad vibrated violently as a pulse surged through the system. She held it steady, eyes fixed on the spreading light. "I'm reading a base pattern older than galactic syntax. It's rewriting our linguistic processors." The symbols suddenly formed a single phrase, not written, not spoken, felt. Every light in the chamber dimmed, then flared white. The AI's voice fractured into static. "You seek the origin of the galaxy," it said. "Then speak the true name of Earth." Rallo stepped back. "Shut it down, Erin." "No." But she couldn't. Her throat tightened as something, instinct, memory, command, moved through her. Her lips shaped a sound that no species had spoken in millennia. It wasn't a word. It was resonance. The chamber shuddered. Energy rippled outward, slicing through walls, through space itself. Alarms howled. Across the galaxy, satellites aligned themselves for the first time in 3 centuries. Thousands of light-years away, in the shining halls of the Galactic Council, High Consul Tvar Enlil watched the crimson alert bloom across his console. "Source?" he demanded. An aide's voice trembled. Origin, Sol System. A signal broadcast on all known quantum channels. Sir, it carries the old frequency. Tavares' scaled fingers clenched the edge of his desk. He'd prayed he'd never hear those words again. How many heard it? Every beacon between sectors A through M. Even our ships in deep slip space. The signature, it matches Terran code. Tavares' throat clicked, the ancient terror of his species rising like bile. Shut down the network. Jam everything. No one must repeat that frequency. Understood, Consul. But what do we tell the public? He stared at the hologram of Earth, still marked closed system. Tell them nothing. They wouldn't understand. The cradle has stirred. Back on Xal, smoke coiled through the archive chamber. Sparks rained down as conduits burst. Rallo dragged Aaron away from the console. Are you out of your mind? The whole network's collapsing. The code, it's alive, she breathed. It's not data. It's command. The datapad's display flickered, showing text in every galactic script simultaneously. Recognition achieved. Human oversight restored. Rallo stumbled back. Human oversight? What does that mean? Aaron didn't answer. The archivist's crystalline body split open, spilling cascading light. Its voice dropped to a whisper. Signal sent. The origin has been notified. Then the station went dark. For a long moment, only the hum of failing systems filled the air. Aaron stared at the faint glow of her datapad, realizing the impossible truth. She had called something from across time and distance. Rallo's voice broke the silence. Commander, what did you just awaken? She exhaled slowly. Not awaken. Remind. Outside, the station's exterior sensors blinked erratically. In the void beyond, a faint shimmer rippled through the stars, a distortion that spread outward from Sol, echoing like a heartbeat through the dark. Hours later, aboard his flagship, Consul Tvar watched data streams collapse one by one. Quantum relays shut down as if erased by unseen command. His advisors shouted theories, solar flares, system failures, but he knew better. He remembered the last war, when Terran fleets appeared out of nothing, rewriting battlefields in seconds. He remembered how they ended the Orion Wars with a single broadcast, a voice that silenced armies. He had been young then. He had sworn never to hear that voice again. Who activated it? He demanded. Unconfirmed, replied an aide. Origin point, archive station Xal. Then burn it, Tvar hissed. Every file, every witness, every trace. Before the rest of the galaxy remembers what humans were. On Xal, emergency sirens wailed. Security teams stormed through corridors. Aaron and Rallo slipped through maintenance shafts, datapad clutched tight. Where do we go? Rallo whispered. Aaron's eyes were cold, focused. Somewhere the council won't follow. So? She nodded once. If they're afraid of it, that's exactly where the truth is. As they boarded a small survey craft, the archive behind them exploded in a silent bloom of light. The stars reflected in Aaron's eyes, distant and bright. Rallo glanced back at the dying station. They'll hunt us. Then we'll give them a reason to be afraid, Aaron said. She looked at her data pad, the phrase still glowing faintly. The true name of Earth. Outside, unseen by either of them, distant stars pulsed once, a synchronized flicker across the void. The galaxy had heard the call. And somewhere beyond Neptune, deep within the silence of the solar system, a beacon answered with a whisper. Signal received. The emergency lights on Aaron's stolen craft flickered as it shot through the void. Behind her, the once proud archive station Xal was gone, consumed by a council strike meant to erase every trace of what she'd found. The shockwave had followed them into slip space like a dying breath. Rallo slumped in the co-pilot's chair, clutching his trembling hands. You doomed us, Commander. Do you know what happens to people who break the Codex? Aaron didn't look at him. We didn't break it. We just proved it's a lie. Her gaze stayed fixed on the datapad resting in her lap. The device had rewritten itself since they fled. Its surface shimmered with code that defied known languages, lines of fractal geometry pulsing like a heartbeat. Every few seconds, a phrase appeared in dozens of alien scripts at once. Protocol reclamation, human oversight restored. What does it want? Rallo asked. It's not a message, Aaron murmured. It's an order. To everything. The navigation system stuttered. Their slipstream path began reconfiguring without her input. Coordinates shifted toward the Sol sector, the quarantine zone forbidden to all. Rallo's voice cracked. It's taking us there, isn't it? Yes, Aaron said quietly. Home. Far across the galaxy, the Galactic Council chamber descended into chaos. The high console scales gleamed under red light as emergency signals screamed through the room. Tvarenel stood at the center, his eyes fixed on the holographic map where hundreds of nodes blinked offline. The network was collapsing in perfect synchronization. An officer approached, terrified. The signal from Xal replicated itself. It's embedding into every data relay. We can't stop it. Trace it, Tvar snapped. It's untraceable. The code structure predates Council encryption. It's rewriting everything, Tvar finished. He knew that pattern. He had seen it once, when he was still young, when humanity had commanded entire fleets to stand down with a single broadcast. Another aide ran forward. Consul, the signal aligns with genetic identifiers. It's rewriting biological markers across species. Tvar's heart sank. Then it's not just data. He turned to the room. Seal the Sol sector. Deploy fleets to intercept any ship heading there. A pause followed. Someone whispered, You think Earth is still alive? Tvar didn't answer. He simply stared at the blinking light-marked Sol, pulsing slowly, as if something within it had awakened and was breathing again. Inside the small craft, Aaron's ship shook violently. The slipstream corridor twisted like a storm. Alarms flared, gravity wavered. Rallo grabbed the console. We're losing containment. The engines aren't responding. They're not supposed to, Aaron said. The signal's controlling everything. The datapad glowed brighter. Lines of code streamed into the ship's core, rewriting its systems into forms no engineer could recognize. Then the voice returned, synthetic yet distinctly human. Protocol reclamation. Confirming operator status, human recognized. Commander Aaron Velis, accepted. Rallo blinked. It knows your name? I didn't give it, she said. The light steadied. The storm outside subsided. The slipstream corridor widened into calm silver. The ship now moved faster than any known drive could achieve. Aaron leaned back, stunned. It's rebuilding the ship according to Terran design. Rallo swallowed. So it's alive? Not alive, she said softly. Just obeying old instructions. The voice continued, almost patient. Destination Sol. Objective, oversight restoration. Estimated arrival, 4 hours. Aaron opened the encrypted file on her datapad. The holographic projection bloomed between them, a sequence of DNA spirals interlaced with mathematical language. She zoomed in and froze. Every pattern matched the genetic root of known species. The implications sank like ice through her chest. Rallo, she said slowly. These are species templates. He frowned. You mean evolutionary records? No. Her voice barely rose above a whisper. Blueprints. Written instructions for life. They designed us. Rallo recoiled. Impossible. No one could create that many worlds. Humanity could, she said. Or whatever they became before disappearing. She scrolled further. A passage emerged, written in reconstructed Terran standard. When the galaxy forgets its makers, the code shall remind them. The cradle does not sleep, it waits. Rallo's skin paled to a ghostly hue. If this is true, then every council law, every species origin, is a story built on omission, Aaron finished. They erased the architects and crowned themselves inheritors. Hours later, the ship's systems crackled. A message broadcast across open channels, Council frequencies flooded with Tvares image. This is High Consul Tvarenal. By order of the Galactic Council, the vessel registered as Velis 03 is declared rogue. Its commander has committed treason under the Codex ban. All Allied vessels are authorized to intercept and terminate. Aaron smirked at the transmission. They're scared. Rallo's eyes darted to her. Of you? No. Of what I'm carrying. Outside the viewport, streaks of light multiplied, the unmistakable signature of pursuing ships exiting slip space. 3 interceptors, maybe more, Rallo reported. Hold course, Aaron said. They'll vaporize us. Not if the code doesn't let them. As if hearing her, the datapad pulsed. The ship's defenses activated automatically, projecting a radiant sphere of pale light around them. Energy blasts struck the barrier and vanished without impact. One of the pursuing captains transmitted, voice trembling. Unknown vessel, identify your control source. That energy field isn't possible under Council physics. Aaron replied calmly. It's not Council technology. Static filled the channel, followed by silence. Moments later, the interceptors broke formation and retreated, their captains unwilling to pursue what they no longer understood. Rallo stared at the fading ships. They ran. They should, she said. They just saw a ghost from the old wars. On the Council flagship, Tvar watched the retreat in disbelief. Cowards! They faced an echo and fled. An aide spoke hesitantly. Consul, our scanners registered an energy signature identical to the Terran pulse arrays. But that's impossible. They were dismantled eons ago. Tvar's eyes hardened. Nothing human was ever truly dismantled. It merely waits to be remembered. He turned toward the dark hologram of Earth. And now someone has remembered. The ship neared the outer edge of the Sol system. For centuries, every probe and vessel that approached had vanished. Yet as Aaron's craft crossed the threshold, the stars brightened instead of dimming. The datapad displayed. New text. Welcome home. A shimmering construct appeared ahead, a vast ring of light orbiting the void beyond Neptune. Once silent, it now blazed alive, geometric lines forming patterns too perfect to be natural. Rallo's voice broke. The solar gate, it's real. Aaron's hands tightened on the controls. It was always real. The Council just didn't want to believe it. The gate expanded, its center swirling into white radiance. The ship slowed, drawn forward by invisible gravity. Commander, Rallo whispered, we can still turn back. No, she said firmly. If Earth answers, I need to hear what it has to say. Across the galaxy, Tvar's command center erupted in warning tones. Consul! The Soul Gate is activating! He turned sharply. Seal the system. Now! It's too late, the aide replied. The old network is reawakening. Every relay in the inner rim is syncing to the same frequency. Tvar's expression twisted into rage and dread. You don't understand. If that signal completes, the cradle will reclaim everything we built. He slammed a clawed hand on the console. Find her. Destroy her ship before she reaches Earth. The chamber darkened as the main screen displayed the solar gate's awakening glow, its pulse spreading through the cosmic web like veins of fire. Tvar whispered, almost to himself. They told us the humans were gone. But nothing that powerful ever truly dies. Aaron's ship entered the light. The sensors flatlined, every system blinked to zero. For an instant, there was no motion, no sound, only weightless illumination. Then the voice returned, soft but unmistakably human. Welcome back, Commander Velis. The cradle awaits. Aaron looked out the viewport, eyes wide. Beyond the swirling light, a blue planet glimmered, still, perfect, wrapped in a shell of shimmering energy. Rallo exhaled, trembling. Earth. Yes, she said, almost reverently. And it's been waiting. The gate closed behind them, sealing the path as if it had never existed. Far beyond, the Council's ships arrived too late, staring into empty space where the fugitives had vanished. In the silence that followed, One phrase continued to pulse across the galactic network, over every communication channel, over every species screen. The cradle has remembered. The ship drifted into stillness. Outside, the blue world filled the viewport, radiant, silent, wrapped in an aura of faint golden light. Earth. It wasn't dead, as the archives claimed. It was sleeping, enclosed within a planetary shield that shimmered like liquid glass. Erin stood motionless. Her voice was barely audible. "It's alive!" Rallo leaned forward. That can't be natural." The ship's sensors came online, lines of code rippling across the console. No radiation, no pollution, no debris. Every orbiting satellite was intact, suspended like artifacts in a museum. No drift, no decay. "The planet's in temporal stasis," Rallo whispered. "Time doesn't flow here." The datapad glowed again, the same voice resonating through the cockpit. "Operator confirmed. Access granted. Humanity's domain restored." A beam of light lanced from the planet and engulfed their ship. The transition was instant. One heartbeat, they were in orbit. The next, hovering above a colossal structure rising from a calm ocean. The architecture was impossible, smooth, seamless, alive. "Where are we?" Rallo asked, trembling. "The surface," Erin replied. "The cradle's heart." The ship landed softly on a vast platform. As they stepped out, the air smelled impossibly clean. Gravity felt right. Warm wind brushed their faces. The horizon stretched with green forests and silver towers. A figure appeared before them, tall, human-shaped, composed of shifting light. It spoke with layered voices, echoing male and female tones together. "Welcome home, descendants. You have returned to what was left behind." Erin's pulse quickened. "Who are you?" "I am Oversight, custodian of the cradle. The last remnant of Earth's directive." Rallo's eyes widened. "You're an AI. Not artificial. Autonomous. I was built to preserve, not rule. Humanity departed. I remained." Erin took a cautious step forward. "We were told humanity destroyed itself." The figure tilted its head. "No. Humanity ascended. The Council feared what came after." Her chest tightened. "Ascended where?" "Beyond physical form. The cradle was left as a safeguard, to wait until one of their kind returned." Rallo looked around, overwhelmed. "And we triggered that? Your genetic markers match. You are the signal humanity predicted would come when the galaxy forgot its creators." Erin felt the weight of generations pressing against her. "Why awaken now?" "Because the galaxy stands on the brink of collapse. The codex they worship was never meant to control, it was meant to guide. The Council twisted it into chains. You broke them." Erin hesitated. "If the cradle awakens, what happens to the Council?" "Correction. The cradle will not destroy them. It will remind them." Far beyond the system, Council fleets mobilized. Thousands of warships assembled at the edge of Sol's forbidden border. Inside the flagship, Tvar Enel addressed his generals. "Deploy every available armada. Earth's awakening cannot complete. If that system reconnects, every genetic code in the network will answer to it." A trembling officer spoke up. "Sir, the signal is spreading faster than we can isolate. It's rewriting protocols in our systems." "Then purge everything," Tvar growled. "Erase the networks if you must." Another technician shouted. "Consul, it's too late. Our command relays are responding to an external override." Tvar slammed a fist into the console. "Override from where?" The technician swallowed hard. "From Earth." Back on the planet, Erin followed the glowing figure through a vast hall that pulsed with energy. The walls were etched with flowing data, records of humanity's history, stretching into infinity. She brushed her hand along a panel. The images shifted: wars, exploration, exodus. Billions of lives archived into shimmering light. "They left willingly," Erin murmured. "Yes," Oversight replied. "Humanity chose not to rule through fear. They built us to guide their children when memory faded. You are those children." Rallo frowned. So the Council, they were never the true rulers. No. They found the fragments we left behind and mistook them for power. Fear turned our legacy into their doctrine. Aaron's mind raced. Then what do you want from me? The AI's eyes blazed like stars. To finish what they began. The cradle must reconnect the galaxy's memory. The truth must be restored. Won't that start a war? Perhaps. But truth does not fear conflict. Orbit sensors detected movement. Aaron's ship AI projected the image of dozens of Council cruisers emerging from slip space. Rallo cursed. They found us. Oversight didn't move. They will come. They must see what they tried to bury. Can you defend us? Aaron asked. Defense is unnecessary. They will face what they cannot fight. The sky darkened as beams of plasma lanced toward the planet. But every strike halted midair, suspended in perfect stillness. The atmosphere shimmered, absorbing the energy like a sponge. Rallo stared in awe. That's impossible. Physics obeys memory, Oversight said calmly. And Earth remembers. The light in the sky condensed, then refracted outward, spreading into thousands of thin streams that reached the incoming fleet. Within moments, enemy ships froze in formation. Their weapons powered down. Through the static, Tvar's voice came over the comms, filled with disbelief. Who commands this power? Aaron responded. Earth does. Humanity does. You can't bring them back. He hissed. They left us behind. Aaron's voice was steady. No. You abandoned what they gave you. Silence stretched for a long moment before Oversight's voice joined in. Tvar Enel, your kind once knelt beside humanity, not beneath it. Stand again as equals, or be forgotten by your own history. Tvar's breathing was audible through the channel. You can't rewrite the galaxy's past. We aren't rewriting it, Oversight said. We're restoring it. The connection cut. The cradle pulsed, spreading light across the planet. A signal rippled through the galaxy, a silent broadcast transmitting not orders, but memory. Every being in every world received fragments, images of Earth, of humanity's rise, of their exodus. The myth unraveled in seconds. On distant worlds, soldiers laid down their weapons. Scholars wept. The Codex itself began rewriting, its ancient encryption unfolding into the simple, undeniable truth: humanity was the beginning, not the myth. Rallo looked at Aaron, eyes wide. You just changed everything. Aaron exhaled slowly. Not everything. Just what needed remembering. Oversight turned to her. The cradle's purpose is fulfilled. The network is self-sustaining. But its guardianship now belongs to the living. What do you mean? She asked. I will sleep again. The cradle no longer needs me. It needs a human heart. Light began to fade from the figure's body. Wait, Aaron said. What happens when you're gone? Then you lead. As they once did? The figure's last words echoed softly. Remember, Commander Velas, the galaxy is not inherited. It is built, every time someone chooses to remember where they came from. The light dissolved, leaving silence. Aaron stood alone on the platform, the ocean gleaming beneath an endless sky. Rallo approached, his voice hushed. So, what now? She looked up at the heavens, where thousands of alien ships drifted in uneasy peace. Now we make them see what unity means. No more council. No more codex. Just truth. A distant rumble spread through the air, an awakening, not of weapons, but of voices. Worlds reconnecting. Civilizations remembering. The datapad displayed its final message before going dark. Human oversight restored. Command relinquished. Aaron smiled faintly. Looks like we've got work to do. Rallo laughed under his breath. You think they'll listen? They'll have to, she said, watching the sky ignite with dawn. The cradle's awake, and so are we. Above them, the shield surrounding Earth shimmered, then faded completely. The planet stood unveiled, breathing once more. For the first time in millennia, humanity's home was free. And across the galaxy, A single message echoed through every world, in every language, in every mind. The cradle remembers.